And now here to speak with us about the battle for sanity on campus is Alyza Lewin, president of the Louis D. Brandeis Center for Human Rights Under Law, a nonprofit legal advocacy organization headquartered in Washington, D.C. Alyza, thank you so much for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you on. Now, you handle a lot of cases related to campus issues. This is your area of expertise. Break it down for us. Are these arrests unconstitutional? Is the Trump administration doing the right thing?
I think the Trump administration is doing the right thing with the pressure that they're putting on the universities. This is a situation where people need to be held accountable for breaking the rules. And what we're seeing is that students on campus are vandalizing property, they're disrupting classes, shutting down classes, they're assaulting students, and they're not being held accountable. And there are, in fact, university faculty sometimes who are blocking the ability of universities to impose meaningful discipline. And so I think that what you're seeing from the Trump administration is an effort to make sure that the universities show that they are enforcing their rules and that people will be held accountable. So I think it is important what they're doing.
Now, looking at Mahmoud Khalil's case specifically, we've learned it's now been moved to New Jersey from Louisiana. What impact will this have, and how do you respond to the claims that his civil rights are being violated?
Well, I think everyone, and there should be due process, and he should be entitled to the hearing, and we need to hear what the evidence is. And so what the court has done is they've moved it to New Jersey because they felt that was where he was arrested as opposed to the facility where he has now been moved. And so that is fine. I mean, he should be able to have his hearing. And if the court has said it should be in New Jersey, I believe the government lawyers have said that is fine.
Now, what kinds of incidents have you dealt with on campus, legally speaking, and how do they demonstrate the necessity of action from the current administration?
So we've seen, for example, if we talk about Columbia, you had last year the takeover of Hamilton Hall, the takeover of building. You've seen vandalism not only there in that takeover, but you saw more recently this year where they poured cement down the toilets in the business school. So you've seen vandalism of property. You've seen classes, most recently, for example, at Barnard just a few weeks ago, where classes had to be canceled when a building was taken over. These are students who are engaging, as I said, vandalism, they're blocking access, they're preventing the universities from doing what they're supposed to do, which is teach. And so now these students need to be held accountable. One of the things that we saw at Columbia last year is that because of the way the judicial process works, there were faculty that actually blocked the imposition of meaningful discipline on those students who had taken over the building. And so in the latest letter that the Trump administration sent to Columbia, they said that one of the things that they urged the school to do was to change this disciplinary process to move it under the university president's jurisdiction in order to make sure that they can impose their rules and show the students that when you violate the rules, there will be consequences.
And we know also, of course, that some of these Jewish students have actually suffered physical assaults and also being blocked based on the basis of their religion or ethnicity from certain areas of campuses. This isn't only happening on one campus, it's happened on multiple over the past year and a half. And now we see that universities are facing major financial repercussions, perhaps for the first time, for the failure to protect the civil rights of some of their Jewish students. Will this have the desired effect on schools, this financial cut?
I hope it does. I think that one of the things that we have seen is that university administrators have lacked the courage, quite frankly, to take on the mob. And what I am hoping that is that this financial pinch will give them the backbone to say, we don't have a choice. Now, as I say, we have rules. And if you violate the rules, if you prevent us from doing and from carrying out the university's mission, there will be consequences. And I think that these, the threats to their finances are, I hope, going to give the university administrators some of that backbone to take on the mob.
All right. Well, we are unfortunately out of time, but I want to thank you for joining us today and shedding some light on this important issue that is affecting so many students on campuses in the United States right now. Thank you so much, Alyza.
Thank you.